Coaching here is like an investment in the next year or two of your surfing progression, right? Because you learn a lot while you're here and then you have a ton to take home. I think you get to feel like a professional athlete for a week.
Done such an amazing job of building such a beautiful space and really attentive service and world-class product. What that does is make all of their guests very invested in their success and very loyal.
Found Surf Simply about 10 years ago. So I started coming on my own for about 4 times, and then this guy, I talked him into it.
She let me come 2 years ago, and so I've been surfing twice in my life, both times here at Surf Simply.
So I came on my own a couple of years ago as my first time. Like, this experience is so rich. For me, it's like, this is my Disneyland, right? It's like all the things that I love. To be able to bring some of my best friends along with me to share this experience and to see them get so much out of it has been such a joy.
I went to design school with Nick, and then the 3 of us have been surfing a lot together. Nick introduced me to Matt and Maddie, and yeah, so I guess Nick is kind of the central hub of this whole thing. He'd been here before.
I started surfing about 8 years ago when I first moved to California, and I surfed, I think, probably had some bad habits and decided that I wanted to go find a camp. So I found Surf Simply online, signed up. 2 years later, I finally got to go, and that was in 2019 in June. So I brought my family, really just fell in love with all of the people here and the way that they teach.
It's like a 1 with a 10 ending. A demon system. So, yeah. I'm just the kind of person that I don't really learn things by feel so much. I have to understand mechanically what's happening, and the way they break it down mechanically, it just really, really helps.
Yeah, it was super appealing the way they broke it down and kind of systematized it and made it much more digestible. You could do it in little chunks as opposed to just like stand up, go down the wave, do something. There's so many more steps and you can work on each one independently.
So the beauty of video coaching is that you can see all the things that you're doing wrong. But it's so valuable, right? Because if you didn't have that, you would be continuing to do these things and thinking you're a rock star.
Communication here is spectacular, right? Something will happen with you with one coach and all of a sudden everybody else knows. The massage therapist knows, Andre knows in the stretch class. You can say something about food and it happens like that. It's this level of service that I don't know that I've ever found anyplace else.
Watching how the coaches work is really interesting in terms of how they teach and how they explain to you what you're trying to do. And then when you're in the water, continually saying, okay, that's working, what do you think's not working? Or what do you think's working?
So Derek was my coach this week. He is so positive and so enthusiastic, and it just kind of pervades the whole experience. And then on top of that, he just really could dial into what I specifically needed.
My coach was Marlon, and he is really good at looking at what you're doing, where your feet are on the board, or whether it's where your hands are, or where your hips are, and how do you move your hips, how do you move your feet.
Jesse,
Yeah, she was awesome.
the best.
Yeah, I don't know if you can put that much energy into one human and then like somehow like give it to us.
She was like willing to be critical in a way that we really wanted her to be critical.
Teal has been my coach both of the times that I've been here, and she's such a great teacher and cheerleader and therapist.
So I had Harry this week, and Harry is phenomenal. So kind, so patient, so thoughtful and detail-oriented.
Well, today was beautiful. We had, it's the last day, so we had a sunset surf. And so we were out about an hour before the sunset. And it was a beautiful, full red sun slowly setting into the Pacific.
I don't have a one single thing. I think like surfing every day we came down with a crew of friends, with like super good friends in an amazing place. The teaching was awesome, the people were great, and the people we didn't know were amazing. So I don't know, the whole experience was awesome.
Cutbacks. I don't think I ever did a proper cutback before this week, and now I'm doing a bunch of them, almost every wave, so that's great. Just understanding the mechanics of it. I just totally did everything wrong before. Now it's like, it's not easy, but it's like starting to become a solid thing.
You get treated like a professional athlete for a week, right? You have all of the resources that a professional athlete might have to improve, including recovery. So Andre's stretching classes were amazing. My massages with Crystal were like transcendent. They were so good, and yeah, my body made it through the week, which is like, and we're actually staying for a couple extra days, and I'm gonna be able to surf, which, you know, it's a big deal.
I had Jamie both times for massage, and she's a miracle worker. I mean, she just really got my back loose, and it was amazing. I think that was really very healing. I did every stretch class this week, and I was so glad. That was a wonderful experience, and it's part of what makes it possible to do so much surfing.
Food is really amazing. It's healthy and it tastes really good. I mean, it's a lot of local ingredients. Everything's very fresh. And so the tacos today were really good. And we've just had really good food.
Dennis was great. The team was cool. In our crew of friends, we had a couple of people who had like special dietary restrictions, and they always had like they nailed it in terms of getting stuff for everyone that everyone could eat and enjoy, as opposed to just kind of sustain on.
The food is to die for. It's just so good. And I still can't believe that, you know, they'll put 2 plates like this in front of me every meal, and I'll eat the whole thing. It's a place where you come and have amazing coaching, and you have fantastic food, and you get to hang out with and get to know people that really have a lot in common with you. And I think that is all makes for an incredible experience.
Part boot camp, part spa, higher education, and part yoga retreat, and part restaurant. Then it's in Costa Rica.
I think for me, the biggest part is the people. It's part of the magic of Surf Simply that it attracts a group of people who I think are probably driven, they're structured, They're interested in pushing themselves, they're open to learning, and I love the community that gets built. You know, you go through all of this physical exercise together, you share all these common experiences. So it's not only like a physical bonding thing, but it's an emotionally bonding thing because we're all going through that.
It's nice to be here. It's funny if you watch my footage at the beginning of the week trying to do cutbacks and then that compared to at the end of the week. I mean, I was doing successful cutbacks by the end of the week and then whitewater climbs and re-entries.
I feel most proud of this time. Something just clicked and I felt like I could move on the board a little bit more. I could sense when I needed to transfer my weight, and that was really cool. That's cool to put together.
They've just done such an amazing job of building such a beautiful space and, you know, really attentive service and world-class product. What that does is make all of their guests very invested in their success and very loyal.
Very heartfelt thanks to all of you at Surf Simply. What a gift this is, and really appreciate you having us.
We probably shouldn't put this out because it'll just make it more crowded and a longer wait list. Right?
Yeah.
It's horrible.
It's
It's horrible. Don't. It's not worth it. Still don't do it.